What is going on, everyone? My name is Boit and I am back with some more Age Mythology, the Titans action. Spawning in the bottom of the map in the red color, playing as Kronos. His name is HellsRavage. In the top of the map in the blue color, playing as Isis. His name is Fox and he's from the DoD clan. The map is Alfheim. This is the RTS-Sanctuary Christmas Tournament group stages. So we have actually just moved on to the bracket stage. So if you're interested in that, I'll put a link in the description box below as to who has gotten through. I don't want to spoil anything with winners and losers, so you'll just follow that link and see that for yourself if you're interested. A little bit about this player right here, HellsRavage. If you don't know him, he is a staff member over at RTS-Sanctuary, and he's actually organising all of this tournament. So it's always nice to see those people that are putting effort into the community also playing games for the community. So we're going to be seeing him play Kronos. He's actually a really old player. I've had the pleasure of playing him a couple of times, catching him by surprise in a couple of games, getting some games off him meeting me in some games. It's always been fun. He's a very talented player. And Fox, on the other hand, we saw him play in the show match, the fundraiser that I put on. He played very, very well as Isis. So we're going to see Isis versus Kronos on this Voobly Balance Patch 3.0. Kronos is a god that I'm very, very unfamiliar with. All I know from Kronos is that Kronos rushing is a thing. So you pretty much just advance as fast as you possibly can and then start attacking your opponent with Promethean and Terma. So I've got no idea what else Kronos can actually do well, like what his other strategies are, because that's pretty much all you see from Kronos players. They do some sort of very aggressive play and then move into booming, I guess, off the aggression. It's kind of similar to Set. Set does a very early advance time and then goes from there. And we can see Hells has been very aggressive with his oracles already. He's moved him to 2 forward locations and then moved his oracles forward. He sent his cows around here. It looks like his cow actually got stolen, maybe? We jump over to Fox's perspective. Yeah, he stole the cow scouting, which is super sneaky that Fox has sent his priest over here super early to steal that cow. Sometimes you can get it, but looks like he's just scouting the side, just seeing what's going on. He has noticed there's an oracle scout coming over here. So if I was Fox, I'd be gearing up to do some sort of fast advance time with priests and my pharaoh being aggressive. So the idea is that we can put some aggression onto his forward gold mine and force a watchtower thing. So we're going something like 4 minutes and... Was 4 minutes and 30 seconds? We're trying to advance in about 4 minutes, really. So we go 8 villagers food, 2 villagers gold. Not exactly in that order, but then you grab your your first temple, and put a bunch of villagers on gold, cast prosperity, build a couple of priests, grab that early second town center, put some pressure onto your opponent while grabbing that, and then play the game like that. That's pretty much my play as Isis here, but I'm interested to see what an Isis main does against Kronos, because I've got no idea in reality. We just see a temple going up fairly early, but only 1 villager building it, so it's going to be a little bit of a later advance, not that 3-minute advance, getting to 4 minutes in the classical age, but probably more like a 3:30 or 3:45 advance, hitting 4:45-ish. Kronos, on the other hand, looks like Hells has grabbed his economic guild, which is a pretty big giveaway that he's not going for a 4-minute or sub 4 minute build. So he's doing hunting dogs and going 3 minutes and 30 advance time through Prometheus. He's got that villager, and we're going to see his economic distribution right now. He's got 4 villagers on food, so he's going to have to shuffle them around, put some onto wood and onto gold. He's put 1 more villager onto gold, and he's only got 1 villager on wood. He's grabbing hand axe and pickaxe, and it looks like he's leaving them on for a little bit longer than normal. Normally you see Atlantean players move their villagers to wood at this stage, but potentially he's going for a fast heroic, which I have no idea if it's any good or not. You can probably go through... looks like he's putting villagers on wood now. I was going to say you can probably go through a different god than you're normally used to, like get... What is it called? Chaos? And then you can do a lot of damage to your opponent just by chaosing their initial heroic age army or something, take some of their things. You see that forward temple there would be spotted by Fox. Fox is... Oh, it's just out of range. Pretty sure you don't actually get to see the... If you're actually playing the game, you don't actually get to see this area here. It's still green, it's still grass. So he's not going to know that this is up, but as soon as these Prometheans come in, he's going to know. He's going to see that the foul is going to get cast, and potentially pushing off this location over here is the option. Anubis is the god of choice for classical age ISIS player. Fox, Anubis has had significant buffs, so it's very, very strong. Very, very viable now, just because you can get a fair few Anubites out and deal quite a bit of damage with them. I think they've got more damage and their recharge rate's better, something like that. I'm not sure if he's going to grab that, what's it called, the upgrade for Favor, but maybe not. He's going for that second town center instead. Grabbing the one Anubite just to defend may be enough. Going to pick off one of those Prometheans. All you need to do is produce a couple of priests, and this aggression does nothing. But looks like Fox is happy to pretty much do nothing here and just force Hells back while he grabs that second town center. So Hells has put up a barracks and a counter barracks. So he's going to be producing Murmillo and Terma. Got those 3 villages on food, 3 villages on wood. And he's going to be probably putting that next villager onto gold. So he's trying to keep an even economy at this point. Building pretty even amounts of units. Looks like this Promethean offspring going to be trying to find that settlement, but the settlement goes up way too quickly. And it looks like this location over here is kind of safe, because he has to move through the town center fire in order to do anything. However, you can come around this side and put some damage on here. The Osborne wagon is here, which is a great relic, and it's definitely something the Egyptian player or the Atlantean player should be considering grabbing. It's just such a strong relic for the middle of the heroic age, and then even late game as well. If we jump over to Hells' perspective, he's searching around. He does see this relic, so I would not be surprised if he grabbed it, but it looks like he's going to be attempting to put some damage onto the gold villages over here instead. As we do see some more of these raids coming in by Hells. Going to be pushing, probably not pushing anything off, just with the priest and the pharaoh is going to be enough to push Hells back. We do see that the temple is being time shifted over to this location to put some pressure onto the gold mine. If you get some Terma over here, he can start putting some real damage on him, as well as casting his what's it called, Valor. He's got 3 charges of Valor, so he can move in here and start trying to pick off some of these Anubites for free. And we do see that that's probably what's going to happen here. No, not casting that just yet. Wanting to maybe just do some pressure. Losing a Murmillo, unfortunately for Hells. You really want to try and keep your units when you're putting this pressure on. Lots and lots of kills here for Fox with not many losses is not ideal. However, a little bit more raids over this location. So we're doing the multi-raid attack, which is always really nice to see. It's one of those things that went out of fashion just simply because it was too hard, and also walls were so strong. But when the Voobly balance patch came in, people stopped building walls as much, so you could put multi-raids happening quite a bit, which is nice. It's really easy to, it's not easy to do that as Atlantean, but it's definitely more viable with Atlantean. We just see that the counter barracks is coming down to this gold mine as well. He does have quite a few areas he needs to defend though. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, and potentially 5 gold mines he has to look after. And we do see the barracks now coming up for Fox. So Fox is going to have to be sitting in that classical age for a little bit longer, not going straight to the heroic age at all. We do see this village fighting some of these Murmillo and the medium termer as well. That Murmillo is gonna walk away with his life, but only barely hanging on. We do see slingers are the unit of choice for Fox. I would probably prefer to see him build maybe 2 barracks at this point if it's going to be building slingers. Otherwise, it seems a little bit slow. That being said, this gold mine's only got 1,500 gold left, so maybe he's attempting to just stay here for as long as he possibly can. And we do see a couple of units now falling again for Hell. So Hell's putting in that pressure on losing units, not picking off units. It's allowing Fox to really do what he wants to do. However, Hell's grabbing that second town center, so he's not falling too far behind in economy. It was only maybe a minute or 2 that Fox had on village production over Hells, but Hells is going to be able to push in a little bit longer here. Attempt to pick off this barracks with what he's got, but again, it's going to be losing units for free as these slingers pick off stuff, and Fox playing pretty well at this point. Might want to consider chucking up a watchtower over here or two just to make sure that he does secure this location while it's not under siege. If we look at the fog of war, he's not actually got any units over here, so he could sneak up his watchtower pretty much for free. Or this location here would be good as well. You just chuck a watchtower here, then that protects this gold mine. But that being said, he's going to have to push out anyways. He's got access to Plague of Serpents, which also have been buffed for Anubis, so it's definitely a winnable fight at this situation. That being said, from what I've heard, you don't want to fight too much as Egyptians against the Atlantean. You kind of just want to sit back and let your economy do the work and then push out later and abuse your late game. We do see that priests again trying to get off those hits on the Promethean. Val coming through. Some Caraballists are coming into the fray here. Deconstruct going down that barrack, so another barracks having to go up. We do see that only 900 gold is left on him. Monument to Soldiers going up now, looking to be producing a couple more of these Anubites, I think. Does have an idle slinger here. One of those Egyptian barracks falling there to the sheer pressure that Hells is putting on here. We do see Plague of Serpents is coming down. I'm not sure I'm 100% on board with this. It does stop any sort of movement through this location. However, if we just move around, we can really put pressure on over here. Just with a couple of units, you don't even need to send all of them over there. We see those Anubites now sitting at that auto queue. He's really wanted to push them out as much as possible. We can see a little bit of back and forth here. Going to be picking off those Plague of Serpents as fast as possible. And we do see, unfortunately, those Anubites kind of got a mind of their own. You don't want them to just jump in willy-nilly because then you lose them. And he does manage to have one of those fall for free. So nice pick off there by Hells. Hells putting on all this pressure. If we can win this location here under the tower fire of that town center, then he can really start doing a lot of damage to that gold mine. Getting this Pharaoh to, instead of attacking, empowering, such a better idea. Not only does it produce your mercenary faster, which looks like he's doing, it also means your town center does double the amount of damage because he shoots double the amount of arrows. A little known fact there. We do see that this is forcing Hells to retreat, which is going to be great for Fox. But that being said, producing a little bit of mercenary there. It's not the best. They're pretty crummy units now. 90 gold with a bit of a nerf to their overall stats, I think. Either that or it's a nerf to their lifespan, one of the two. So they don't do quite as much. And building them really early is, when you don't have that much gold, it's never that great. We're going to see him move over to this bottom location, which I think is really smart. The fight's going on over here, and if Fox can keep the fight here, he's going to be able to push out and win this game just by simply securing this gold mine. If we jump over to HellsRavage's perspective, he's got no units over here. He is going for that third town center though, so he's going to have fairly strong economy, and he can start producing some more buildings and start putting pressure on this location while putting pressure onto this location. We see a bunch of villagers here trying to mine. If he just gets a couple of those Caraballists up on this side of the map while these ones push into this side, he can kind of attack them while they're attacking up the top. So if he positions his army here and here, then he can attack and attack at two locations at once while defending. But it looks like he's going to be moving his entire army around this location and see what he can do. We do see a couple of those medium term now searching out for some of those other gold mines. Potentially even grabbing this fourth town center would be an option there for Hells to continue in this game. Looks like he's going to be moving in here. He's going to see there's nothing on this gold mine, and then he's going to move over and see there's some units on this gold mine. Fox, not really quick enough here. Might want to consider getting a tower or a couple of barracks over into this location. As soon as it's spotted, he can potentially just move these villagers off, put them back over here, and then send some more villagers over onto this location and start chucking some barracks on. Medium termer moving in here, going to be attempting to pick off some of these villagers. Not going to be able to really kill that many with how many are there, but with so many units out now for Fox, he's going to be doing great. He's going to grab this second town center, which is going to allow him to grab this gold mine and even potentially this gold mine back here with some more added pressure over here. We do see some villagers running around after these termers, so they're just going to be distracting a little bit there while he can. And if we jump over to Hells' perspective, he's kind of stuck here. He's kind of stuck. He needs to kind of move around this location and then come over to here. We do see that a temple is being time shifted over to this location so he can start producing some of those Prometheans to deal some damage, and then potentially sending some more of those barracks and counter barracks. We see an armory coming up now for HellsRavage. Fox, on the other hand, casting Prosperity. He wants to get as much out of this gold mine as he possibly can. Definitely sending these units over here to pick off these would be a great idea. We don't see any units onto these gold mines, but we do see a little bit of a push coming coming in over here. So we do see a bunch of Caraballists, a bunch of Terma. So Terma kill off those slingers really fast, and Caraballists kill off those spearmen really fast, but those priests are the ones that deal all the damage, killing off all of the myth units and then basically tanking so much damage from all the rest of the tower fire. A little bit more of this action going on over here. Medium Terma going to get picked off by that Anubis. We do see a couple of those mercenary now coming in, happily producing those under the gold income rate of the Prosperity. HellsRavage on the other hand going to the Heroic Age through Hyperion. Going to be using that buffed curse to be killing off, basically it kills off a myth unit and a couple of human units. So it's really, really strong now. Instead of randomly picking off a myth unit or human units, does both. So very, very good there. And he's just going to be jockeying around, trying to be waiting for that to come in now. You see that the temple's being moved back to home. Doesn't want to be producing any of those satire right into the death of that location there. Putting Fog of War back off. Still not defending this location very well. I wouldn't mind seeing a wall going up over here, Walls are back to being the original cost. They just don't do as much delay as they used to. So it's still very, very strong. I'm going to see Hyperion coming in over it right now. Is he going to use this straight away? He does use it straight away, but unfortunately, maybe I was wrong. He only manages to get a couple of slingers there. The slingers get picked off so quickly that it's pretty much just auto kills and not anything more. We do see the Anubite moving in, going to be dealing some more damage. Hell's not having very much luck over here. This army of Fox is pretty strong, especially when he's producing mercenary as well. And we see some more raids coming on over here. Guardian Anabites, very, very strong units for raiding. Hell's kind of needs to start thinking about getting some manners onto his exposed resources so he can just garrison, and then moving some of those hero units around to follow those Anubites that are running around. We keep seeing a bunch of these priests getting masked right now, so what Fox can kind of transition into at this point is slingers, priests, and siege towers if you can get to that Heroic Age. He does have 21 villagers on food, so he should be gathering pretty fast. And again, we're seeing this thing with these New Age players, and I think it's just not because they're New Age players and it's like a strategy. I just think it's like they're so good at getting their economy going, but once it's going, they're not that great at spending their resources. Having 3,000 total resources in the bank is not good. You want to be spending the resources as much as possible, unless you've got a plan for them, but there's no real plan you can use for them at this point. So going to be picking off this counter barracks for the villagers. We do see some medium Contarius, I'm going to go with Contarius coming in. Going to be picking off those villagers, but villagers too strong apparently. Need to be building some stuff over here. Get a barracks or two and just make your opponent work for pushing you off resource. We do see another push in over here. That gold mine managed to get off 2,000 before it started getting attacked. And we do see that a bunch of priests moving on over here to defend this location. We do see an obelisk moving in. Again, just build a bunch more barracks. How many do you have? You've only got 2 barracks and you're sitting at 1,000 gold. That's a thing that it really annoys me. You do see that Nephthys is coming through now for Fox though, so he's potentially just going to be slamming down Migdol strongholds in that Heroic Age, or selling off all his wood to buy food in order to go straight to the Mythic Age. Again, I don't know if I've said this in previous episodes, or sorry, previous shoutcasts. Building Son of Osiris super early against Atlantean is super strong, very difficult to defend against. You can grab what's it called, City of the Dead, and get a super buffed Pharaoh to cast Son of Osiris on, and then you just get really, really strong unit there that your opponent can't really deal with until he has access to a bunch of Arcus, which he doesn't have at this point. So Hells is kind of against a little bit of a time war here. He needs to basically come in and pick off this town center. If we jump over to Hells' perspective, he is going to the Mythic Age very, very fast, so we can grab Atlas. This could either mean he's wanting to go straight to the Titan Age, grab Titan, which is an old strategy which Atlanteans used to employ. It was nerfed in Voobly Balance Patch 2.0, so Titan Age moved from 60 seconds to 90 seconds. In 3.0, it moved from 90 seconds to 75 seconds, so it's not as strong as it used to be, but it is stronger than the previous patch. We can see that a bunch of units just falling here. Siege Workshop now coming up for Fox as the first thing. Is he going to be chucking up anything else? So he's not done anything else. He's not going to the Mythic Age. He's grabbing fortified town centers straight away. Doesn't have quite the gold to build up a Migdol stronghold. and he's got no villagers really mining gold at this point. He's got a safe gold mine here and here though, so what he might want to consider is just taking a bunch of villagers off wood, putting these villagers onto wood, and then you'll be okay. You see that I'm not sure about that implode there. It's pretty cool, but it's not going to do too much. Most of the units is going to suck and they're going to survive. He's got all those priests to just heal them back up. If we just look at what's going to happen here, looking at Fox's pop count, when that blows up, still going to stay. Oh, well, oh, okay. I think I'm wrong about what implode does. Implode is so strong now. Apparently it just kills everything. Well, there you go. Looked like everything that got sucked into that implode pretty much died. We do see that Ancestors is getting cast now. Fox has to defend now, so he's casting Ancestors as a defensive measure here, and he's going to be trying to push out with maybe something else. I'm not sure. Maybe this is a last-ditch effort. We do see the Argus coming in. You want to try and get that Argus to kill off Myth units as best as you can. He's basically a very strong unit. There we go. One hits the Scorpion Man and dies, so he's trading his life for a Scorpion Man. Not exactly worth, but it's pretty much all he could get there. We do see that a Mixed Stronghold's coming down on the front of HellsRavage. Hell's, on the other hand, he's not going to that Tynades like we said. He's not producing any more Argus. Palace is going up there now, so he's going to start producing some of those destroyers. And when we see Siege Workshop coming in, it's going to be very difficult for Hells to really stop that. He's only got maybe 9 melee units, and most of his army is pierce units. So siege weapons, very, very strong, and he's going to start producing them right into the town center of Fox. So we're going to see some of those coming out right now. I think we see a couple of chariot archers and a war elephant as the rotation of choice there. We do see that. That's nice deconstruct. He's been saving that for quite a while. Deconstructing that Migdol Stronghold is basically just going to buy him a little bit of time, which is kind of all he wants. The Ancestors has gone down, so it's going to be fine now. We do see that a couple of these villagers moving in here, trying to pick off this location. With those heavy Terma and heavy Arcus up here, that's just a harass. It's going to be a little bit frustrating there, but it's going to be fine. We do see some more of this is going to come in now. With the Siege Tower coming into this town center, if you can pick this town center off, Fox is going to be in a great position to win this game. Now the Migdol Stronghold has been completed for Fox. HellsRavage, on the other hand, sitting at very low resources, so I'm not sure if that's because he's spending them all because they're dying so quickly, or if his economy is just not very good. How's his upgrades going? He doesn't have the best upgrades, only hand axe, and that means that he does have sharp mine irrigation as well, which is okay, but you want to be getting quarry and you want to be getting bowsaw as fast as you possibly can. We just see that these Argus now going to be coming in. They're able to pick off these priests much better than any other of the units. So priest stopping very good at this point in the game. So he needs to stop. So pretty much he needs to stop building those if you're Fox. He's building Scorpion Men now, which is great. He wants to be building a bunch of those War Elephants and Siege Towers and Spearmen, I think, is kind of the right place to be there. Fire Siphons used to be very, very weak. They used to be very weak. They got killed very fast and they didn't do much damage. They've been significantly buffed in this patch, or maybe even in the last patch, and now they tank a bunch more damage and they deal a bunch more damage. So at least now Atlantean has a fairly strong late game. It's not strong, it's just stronger late game, so it's not just a race against the clock to get the Titan, and if you don't win with the Titan you lose. So they got a chance in the late game. We do see that these mermen are going to be picking off the siege towers. You want to try and get a couple on each, just so that this like jockeying doesn't happen too much, which is what's happening there. We're just having the fast units chase the siege tower and having the slow units pick off the other siege tower and defend this location. Definitely want to consider grabbing architects and masons and repairing this just while you're defending, and then trying to push forward. We do see another wall coming up here. I'm not sure about this. I'm not sure what this is going to achieve. Potentially build a palace and get some fire siphons coming into the back of that town center, forcing some mercenary. Just see this fire siphon going to be able to pick off this town center if he doesn't start getting some of those melee units to be picking him off. HellsRavage is doing very, very well in this game, attempting to stay alive. Basically, he's a little bit behind on the economy and the army, but if you can pick off this location, which you almost could, villagers jumping onto it now, going to be repairing. A little bit of sneakiness coming on over here, going to be attempting to reinforce this area and try and prevent this gold mine from being mined. Once all these gold mines die, it's a bit of a late gold mine to go to. The camel caravan should be fine. Again, not grabbing this Osborne wagon. That's negative 25% caravan cost, which is 75 food instead of 100 food. And then the caravan speed is 15% faster, which is heaps. Always want to be grabbing those relics if you can see them. They're very, very good. More pressure coming in here. I'm pretty sure Fox just needs to get to the Mythic Age at this point. He's just fighting, which sometimes is good, but I think most of the time it ends up being pretty negative. If you just fight, then you're just going to run into your opponent getting further and further ahead. Siege Tower moving in though. Nothing really here to defend against this, so you got some contrarios coming in here. What's Hell's population looking at? He's sitting very low on the population, and where's he mining gold from? Oh, he's got plenty of gold mines, but his economy is just suffering for some reason. It's probably just because he hasn't grabbed those economic upgrades. He does have bow sword though, no quarry. If he gets those economic upgrades, he's going to find his units start producing a lot more quickly. That being said, all of his buildings are producing, so it's not that he doesn't have the production, he's the resources to support the production, he just doesn't have enough production buildings producing units, which is why his units are dying so quick. Fox, on the other hand, he's got a bunch of buildings, not really actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, only four barracks. It's like the power of Egyptians, they can just spam units so quickly without that many military buildings. We see more siege towers coming in here, and if you can get these siege towers to just sit on here with these mercenary cavalry just pumping in, they're very close, so pumping these mercenary cavalry is a pretty good idea. You see that this Contraria is coming in over here, picking up a couple more villages. Still, there's so many villages for Fox, and Fox can just keep building them. I don't think he should actually be taking villages off auto queue just yet. Just keep building those villages. I guess he is building, he's not even building more camel caravans, so I'm not sure about that. These raids are going to be doing a little bit more damage than they should. You see the village is going to get picked off pretty much instantly. They had no HP to begin with. War Elephant and Siege Towers now moving in, going to be picking off this fortified town center if it does fall. Hells is not going to have a lot of options to take that back. We do see some medium fanatics coming out of this palace now for HellsRavage. HellsRavage going to be losing this town center. Not very much. He does decide to tap out. Says GG, well played. I actually thought that Hells had pretty significant advantage in this game, but potentially that what is Implode just wasn't that strong. Didn't do that much damage to anything really, and Fox somehow managed to make the heroic age of Egyptians work against the mythic age of Atlanteans. So well played there by Fox. I believe it's 1-0 for him in this group stage match. If you like this game, please rate, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you want to see videos as soon as they come out. My name is Boit, and I'll see you guys next time.